Hi, we're back. It's time for number 14 of our idea book. I can't believe we've done 14 different ideas. As you remember, everybody, we took a little bit of a break through the holidays and we're working ourselves back at it. We just suggested that you got a book to work in. Rhonda and I both went with a loose leaf notebook type thing so that we can take the pages out and work on them. And these are some of the past. And there's some I haven't done. I'm a bad girl. But today I have something really fun and silly and colorful. And if you know my art, it's always pretty colorful. So today we're going to make shaped pages. There's so many different ways you can do this. These are the two that I have already had a sample for. But I've tried to cut out some steps so that maybe you don't have to sit and watch me paint and wait for paint to dry and fussy cut and all that. So here we go. This is my idea, shaped pages. So what we'll do is we'll paint it and then glue our picture on. And there's so much more you could do to this and so much doodling and all that you can do on that, just kind of like my collages. And here's another one. Now, my pages are flip outs, which for this project is really good because you can glue these two together and it gives you such a strong page, especially after you put an image on it. So by the power of television, I have some of them kind of ready. So what I suggest is that you first glue these two together, if that's the kind of pages you have. If you're just working on one page, that's fine, because after they're glued together, it's just one page. So I take my sanding block and I sand it because my pages are really shiny and slick. So I just put some marks on it so it kind of takes the shiny away. And so it's glued together, pretend. And then I've sanded it, and then I gesso it. And I just put my gesso down, and I scrape it with a card, because, I mean, you know, we have 53 brushes over here, and 63 brushes over here. You know, let's use the credit card. Much easier. So, after that's all done and dried, I like to paint it. And, I mean, you can paint it whatever color you want, or you can leave it white. I mean, it's totally up to you. As you can see on this one, I went with the green. I didn't paint the back on this one, which I wish I would have, so I didn't have to worry about seepage on the other side. But it's okay. It's going to be all right. It's going to work. If you see on this one, this one stuck out a bit more than what the page was, so I had to put some extra stuff back there. So, you know, it's all good. It's all fixable. You don't have to worry how perfect your paint is, just because we're going to be cutting this edges off. So we're going to start with this one, which is already painted. And I'm going to just give you a few ideas. I just went through magazines, excuse me, and pulled out some things. So I kind of thought the Geico gecko was cute. And so I thought, well, I could put him there. And then I love the color of this. I was like, well, I could put this pillow there. And I don't mind if some of it gets cut off because the image didn't come out real perfect anyway. But it doesn't fill my whole page and there's just not a whole lot to it. So I decided that he's going to have to wait for another project. And, I mean, anything you find, if you like it, I tend to, when I get ready to put them on, I cut out this side really well, because this side, why double cut? You're already going to cut this part out, so you might as well cut it all at one time. Now, I say that, but I do have some images I've cut all the way out. Like this one is really kind of cool. And I like to put one part of the image right up to the side, because you don't want to have to piece in stuff on the other side and make sure that looks good. So if I was to glue this one down, I would cut along this edge right here. This edge, it would be just on there. Some of it would come off because it's too big. Here's another one. For some reason, she's going the wrong way, so we could do her on this. Nope. I think she'd look good to be like that and sticking off, but you could easily put her just like this and do something for the hair, and then cut this, and then when you get down here, decide how you want to, you know, maybe come in a ways like it's got a neck and a shirt. So that's one way. I thought this one was really cute. This one I really like because I like it to be a little bit different. And see, I would cut this, and I left this part white so that I could show you when I was cutting. I would cut this, and I'd probably put some little bumps in the hair just to make it kind of different. Cut around all this and all this. And because it's glued down, all this is going to be cut away when you cut this part. So again, that's my don't double cut. I thought this one was kind of cute. You could use something like this. This is from an old painting magazine. And I thought, you know, I sit here and played around. Something's going to have to give, so I think I'd rather cut her shoes off a little bit than her bow. And I would put some part of her right up against the line, like this is up against that, and that's, and then finish cutting it out along the design. So you could do this, and even though this is quite dated, I still think she's awfully cute. And you could even make it into a coloring page for your book. Another thought I had was it doesn't have to be one single image. So if you took some boots or some shoes and kind of stacked them up, you could do something like that. Now I would cut this out because it won't be cut out, but that's kind of just be something different, you know. You could put the boots on, and I didn't finish cutting, but there's some purses, and so maybe, you know, it could be a fashion statement, or you could write, these boots are made for walking. Yep, showing my age there. So that's just some of the choices. There is a lot of things you can do. Just something that's a different edge, and then when we get it all glued on, we'll cut it out. And I'm trying to find what I had already set aside to use today, and it has just, oh, there they are. So I wanted to use something a little bit different. So I took a painted paper, that's just part of it, and I punched out circles. And it's just a simple painted paper. And I punched out circles. And because it's just typing paper, some of them didn't punch out real well, which is okay, because we can cover them up, trim them off. And so my thoughts on this one is I'm going to do like a bubble edge. So, wrong one. Now I've got the right one. Okay, so I've had some people ask me what kind of glue I use and why. And this is my favorite glue. It's really kind of sticky, and it has just done so good and stays so well. So all I'm going to do is glue these down. And I'm going to just put it right there. And the reason I like this glue, and this is my secret, to get glue sticks to work, you don't rub that hard because then you tear it, but that's okay. We got to learn to make our mistakes and fix them. Burnish. Burnish is what makes the glue work. And we'll just keep going. And this painting paper is on an agenda from one of the boards I'm on. And so, you know, I got to use it for what it was for, and then I don't waste it. I reuse most of my typing paper type of paper. Copy paper type of paper. Again, showing my age. So I'm going to put this one on here because I started with this one, and there's a couple of them that have a little more green in it. And I'm intentionally making them different as far as not all straight up on the edge, because it just gives you more I don't know, more coolness, more creativeness. And because I don't like anything just normal. So we're putting down our circles, and I'll burnish it. And then when you get that all glued down, you can use big scissors, little scissors, whatever makes you happy. And you just trim it, following the line of whatever you glued down. Yeah, it's like watching paint dry, watching somebody fussy cut. But all those little white spots we didn't do on the edge aren't even showing. All the pieces that didn't punch correctly, all trimmed off. And you can go as far as you want. If you want to even bring it in and say, fix that little boo-boo there, you could do that and bring it on up here. And now you have a bubble page. Because of that, I think I want to do this one here just a little bit more in the same kind of idea. And you know, it's just paper. It's just paper. So, there you go. You can take your markers or pens and just kind of draw around them. Add more images over here, overlap. But when you're all done, you want to try to emphasize whatever you have on this edge. Might be easier to do this with a pencil and get more defining lines. And if you mess up, don't worry about it. Just throw some extra lines in. Pencil marks are always cool. So that's our shapes page. And what you do from here is totally up to you. If you want to go through a magazine and find words and put them on here. If you want to put a pocket on here. You know, because there's still some of this paper left. So we could easily just cut us out a pocket out of this and put a pocket on here and tie it all together. It would be really cute. This just popped in my head, so I gotta try it real quick. Let's get the big scissors. So we're just gonna cut a pocket. And I also wanted to show you, I love to have extra tips in my videos if I can. Sometimes they're all stuff you already know, but I save all my little bits, and this is a big deal because I never saved them before. I thought, why save scraps? Because if it's not the right color, I'm just going to get a piece of paper out, cut it up, and make my own scraps. So I didn't see any reason to save them until recently. This is my bucket, And I don't know if you can really see what's in there. It's all kinds of scraps, but they've all been connected. And they're all with some painty papers and old papers. And then I just put 2 or 3 together and stitch them down. What they're going to be, I don't know yet. But they're going to be cool on something, I'm sure. So that was just your added tip. Save your stuff. So I cut this out, and of course it's not real good, but that's okay. Because it's still part of my plan. And because my plan has changed, some of the stuff I'm going to use is not out, so we'll just have to fake it. So instead of making this a pocket, because it's not perfectly in shape, we're going to make it a vase of sorts. We can add to it, draw on it, do whatever. And we're going to get another piece of painty paper. This one might not match so well because, again, like I said, I didn't have it out and ready, and these are still a bit small. And so we're going to just cut a circle freehand. We don't want these all perfect like this one because this is our border. This makes a statement. This is going to make some flowers. You can put that one down and then use this and make a little smaller circle. And put that one down. And because I don't have any green painty papers here, I will use a marker and draw my stem in there. And of course you want to do a better job than that. That's just sketched on there, just a quickie. After you get everything glued down, you can go in and do more details and make them look better. So we did that, and then we did this one. Again, we'll take our pen or pencil or marker or whatever's your writing device of choice. And I'm looking for something specific, but I'm not seeing it. Because I like to sit in front of the TV and work on things at night when my husband's home. And that's where a lot of my stuff is. So, again, we'll just go with the pencil. And I'm just going to kind of color around that. And not really worry about it too much, whether it's right or not. So there we have this cute little vase. Whoops. Well, we'll have to pull the eraser out for that one. And it has moved. So we will pull the eraser out next time. And we will put a leaf on here that we can come in. And you can always sketch this stuff in and then cut it out of paper, get an idea, because the marks on the background, it all bleeds in and it all looks great. So you can do one flower, you could do another flower over here, or you could even make a stem to come out and this one be a flower, which I kind of like that idea. So we're going to do that. We are going to cut us another flower out of some scrap paper. I'm doing lots of shipping lately, and these were labels that I didn't print right. And so, again, I didn't waste them. I just painted. When I get ready to make painty papers, all my scraps that are larger than a bookmark get painted. Because you can cut them up and tear them up and put them in whatever you want. So we're going to put that little one there, and I think we're going to get this little bit of piece of bright green here. So, y'all are lucky. I knew what I was going to do, but I was just going to do the shaped page. But I don't know, it's how I work. This one's going to be way too big. I just get an idea, I got to go with it. So, we're getting this whole new page idea, completely different than what it was intended. So we got that center on the flower. And we need one more center. And I think we need some orange. We always need some orange. Put the glue on it. Right there, just that one. And get our green marker. In fact, I think I'll go for the darker green. And, oh yes, much better. And even though I'm going over that leaf, that just tells me that I'm going to have to make a cutout leaf instead of just coloring it in. And then this one here. So what started off with just a cutout shape of a page ended up being the whole design. And you can just do whatever makes you happy. I am an outliner. I outline. I love the definition of the lines around things. And I took a couple classes with Joanne Sharp, and one of the things that she said, and I may not get this quote quite right, but it was something like, the first line is not the last line. And she always makes her lines not exactly alike. So it looks like there's 2 or 3. It's pretty sketchy. I love that look. So that's kind of what I'm going to do for the rest of this. And maybe I'll have a quote. Maybe, you know, because I could write something through here. I can still put the leaves on it. I can put stripes across this and decorate it. There's so many things you can do. And I'm going to leave that part up to you. If I finish this and get it done in time to put it on the end of the video, I will show you how I finished it. Thanks for watching. Check in the links all down below. Bye-bye. So, I kind of doodled it up. Added a few little marks here and there. Again, it's kind of my style. I like the outlining. I like little speckles, and I shaded around everything. So there's our page. Simple. It actually was pretty quick. So you just kind of start with something on the side. But don't forget some of the other ones we had. You know, the faces. I think that I would like to do a whole book of face pages. Of course, there's so much more that can be done on the edges of them, you know. And this one, I drew in her own hair, and it's another magazine image here, and different flowers there. Just kind of play with it until you make it your own. So, enjoy, and until next time, ta-ta.